At this point, it's my distinct privilege to welcome our guest speaker. He is a prominent national security commentator and analyst. He has gone through several phases to gain his current credentials. First of all, education. He is a graduate of Fishburne Military School in 1999, along with one of our trustees, Derek Weaver. He is a graduate of Virginia Military Institute, you can put your hand on your heart when you say that, by the way, of 2003. He is a practitioner of national security policy, serving as a United States Air Force from 2003 to 2010, serving as a nuclear launch officer. He has served as a policy analyst and writer on national security subjects for documents such as the Weekly Standard as a contributor, Foreign Policy Initiative as the policy director, and featured in numerous news outlets. He has transitioned ultimately to a policy maker. He's a professional staff member of the House Armed Services Committee. He worked as the defense policy advisor for Mitt Romney's presidential campaign, the national security advisor for Jeb Bush's presidential campaign, and currently serves as the senior counselor for the military and defense affairs for Senator Tom Cotton. It is my distinct privilege to introduce and welcome Mr. John Noonan, our 2018 graduation ceremony guest speaker and Fishburne alumnus.
Cadet Green, nice job. I should have gone first, you should have gone second. You might have a career in politics ahead of you, young man. Good speech. Captain Black, Susan Johnson, General Alexander, on behalf of the board, Colonel and Mrs. Weiss. Colonel Weiss, you taught me more about government than I have learned in all my years working in it, and I appreciate it. Derek Weaver, my classmate, Corps cadets, and most importantly, our men of honor, the class of 2018. I am humbled to be here. I'm humbled, my old teachers are shocked. Well, seniors, you did it. Congratulations. Now let's talk about that it for a second, because that it means something. That it is special. Now you may think, high school, no big deal, no sweat, no skin off my back. But cadets, this isn't just about graduating. It's not just about walking across this floor and having a scrap of sheepskin mushed into your meaty little paws. Today you are leaving something behind, and that is your childhood. You're leaving it in those nice little folding chairs there. I originally wrote pretty oak pews, but I had to take a spot check when we came in. That's where you're leaving it. Today, and listen to this part, you become a man. 19 years ago, I sat down there, and Derek sat down there, and we looked up here. And we had a real warrior with us that day, Lieutenant General Timothy Maude. He's a Bronze Star recipient from Vietnam, Army to the bone, soldier to the core. He talked about brotherhood and comradeship. He talked about purpose. And I clung to every word. Derek was asleep. 2 years later, General Maude sat at his desk one morning, sipping his morning joe, going about his daily task, when American Airlines Flight 77 smashed into the west face of the Pentagon. He was the highest ranking officer to die that day. He died at his post, doing his duty before God and country, and he was a man in every sense of the word. A man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not sure what that means anymore. Not today. You great guys are walking into some weird times. Times where old codes of conduct are being jettisoned for a new ethos. Times when even the word man causes controversy. Now you've all heard it, the cries of horror whenever somebody says manpower or mankind, man-made, anchorman, weatherman, cameraman, businessman, congressman. Too masculine, they say. Not inclusive enough. Off with your head. And the Boy Scouts, they're dropping the boy. Now it's going to be just the Scouts. Now it's not just in the dialect either. If trends hold, women will soon outnumber men on college campuses by a rate of 2 to 1. Women live an average of a decade longer than men. They have a lower unemployment rate, and the prison population of this country is 90% male. On college campuses, humanitarian professors study what they call toxic masculinity, as if men were orangutans who just climbed down from a tree branch. It's a place where that Y chromosome of yours can sometimes get you treated like a criminal. So what I'm saying is this: it's harder for you than it was for me, than it was for Derek. But I don't want you to get too wrapped around the axle about all that business, because we don't get to pick the world we walk into. And as far as worlds go, man, you're walking into a pretty good one. But you great guys do have some speed bumps ahead, and these were hurdles that I didn't have to worry about when I sat down there. Manhood didn't always used to be this abstract. It was swapping old Army tales at the American Legion. It was turning a wrench on a line of Chevys, lunch on a steel beam, work pail at your side, a good union job, 3 kids, church on Sundays. You walked right off that graduation stage and into an ironworks. Today it's a little muddier. Men are in a little bit of trouble. And I don't want to overstate this point, but they can be orphans in their own land, looking for an identity and coming up dry. Sometimes under attack from media to campus to Hollywood for God knows why. I don't claim to understand it. But listen up, gents, because this part is important. These new challenges don't have a damn thing to do with women doing better for themselves and getting a fairer shot. Can't blame them. Can't blame all the screwballs on college campuses. You can't blame the newspapers. You can't blame the unequal laws on a savage race, as Tennyson had it. Sorry, men, but this one's on us. There's an entire generation of lost boys out there who failed to launch. Permanent residents of mom and pop's basement, idling between that graveyard shift at the Circle K and the drab glow of a PlayStation screen. It's a gloomy existence of warm Mountain Dew and cold Hot Pockets, imprisoned by the solitudes of a digital world where every comfort is granted without accountability or obligation. And that's the cruel trap of this great country. It can meet your every need just enough that it makes you utterly satisfied with mediocrity. Now the Greeks, the old ones, had a word for it. Acadia was a lethargy of the heart, the noonday devil, no gas in the spiritual tank, no purpose, and no life. Now look, I know I'm laying some heavy English on you men here today, but for all you great guys walking this stage today, I don't do you any favors by masking the realities of that existence. It is out there, and it has snagged better men than me. This country needs men, so be one. Be a man of virtue. Be a man of chest, as C.S. Lewis had it. The head rules the belly through the chest. Be men. Be good men. A man, a gentleman, is on time. Show up late and you have declared before God and everyone that your time is more valuable than others. A man, a gentleman, always has a goal, a purpose. Bench 300, Dean's List, build something with your hands, write something, get into law school. Men, gentlemen, are slow to take offense. Outside matters of honor, being offended is a sign of weakness, not strength. Read your Marcus Aurelius. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. A man, a gentleman, never falls into self-pity. Self-pity becomes despair, despair becomes emptiness, and the fact is, man, life is gonna throw a few pitches high and inside at you. Be ready for it. There's the great John Wayne who said, "Pity ain't for me." A man, a gentleman, doesn't need to be shielded from hardship. He doesn't need a safe space. He welcomes adversity because adversity makes him stronger. Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron, men sharpen other men. A man, a gentleman, takes risk. He dares, he explores, he discovers. A safe job may fill your wallet, but adventure is going to fill your heart. A man, a gentleman, says yes sir and yes ma'am. He combs his hair, he presses his shirt, he wears socks, preferably with shoes over them. He has a firm handshake and a straight back. And since you great guys are among the special few of your generation who know how to do this, put a shine on those shoes while you're at it. A man, a gentleman, treats women with dignity. I didn't say respect. Respect is earned, and I will preach this till I'm blue in the face. No one's chromosomal alignment entitles them to respect. But dignity is another story. It comes from the Latin, dignitatis. It's got a weird translation in Old Roman, but you can sum it up in one word, and that is worth. It means that a man understands a woman's inherent value and honors himself in the way he treats a lady. A man, a gentleman, has a restrained tongue. Men don't snipe from the bleachers or shroud insult in secrecy. All over the internet today, people say awful things to each other that would, in a more civilized time, earn you a smack in the mouth. Never say something in cyberspace that you wouldn't say in someone's personal space. A man, a gentleman, is disciplined, he's calm, he has good character, he makes good decisions. And I want each of you to thank your parents for sending you to a place that still believes in those stolid old codes of conduct and those old ways of doing things. You owe them a lot. St. Thomas Aquinas, in his vivid meditations, said that there is nothing on this earth greater than true friendship. But man, you can't have true friendship without hardship. You great guys have shared your ups and downs, the trials of barracks life. You found in each other a bond that exists only in adversity. You are eternally bound to each other by virtue of those 4 red brick walls, by Lincoln's mystic chords of memories. Remember this, it takes 2 men to make 1 brother. You're about to walk up those stairs and toss your covers and say goodbye to men who have become your brothers. You're about to be one of those absent comrades. When that final formation breaks, cherish it, every second. Toss your cover into the upper stratosphere if you can get it there. Take as many stupid pictures as you've got time for, and if you don't have the time for it, make time. For the rest of your life, you are going to be judged by the company you keep, but you men are going to be hard-pressed to find better companies than Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Band. I'm going to leave you great guys with this. Every day, I drive over the 14th Street Bridge up to my office in the Senate. And every day as I cross that bridge, I think of a man named Arlen Williams. Now, in the cold winter of 1982, a couple pilots out of National Airport screwed up and didn't de-ice their plane. They took off northbound and they barely made it a mile. The plane was weighed down like there were a pair of elephants squatting on the wings, and they crashed into the icy Potomac River. Now, 6 souls made it out of the river, 6 out of 80. Park Police helicopter gets there quick, line tossed out to the first passenger, he gets to shore okay. Second passenger gets the line, but passes it to a flight attendant. She gets out okay too. Now, the clock's ticking, hypothermia's taken over, jet fuel is thick in the air and burning their eyes. Third passenger makes it out with some help from some good Samaritans. Helicopter comes back, it tosses 2 lines this time because they're getting pretty desperate. Passengers 4 and 5 struggle, cold sap their strength. It's ugly, but they get out of the drink with moments to spare. Last in the water was Arlen Williams, just a no-name banker. And when the chopper came back for him, he was gone. This guy spent his whole life going to school, raising a family, launching a career. But he isn't remembered for having a family or being a bank examiner. He's remembered for that brief moment when he passed the line. These things we do so others may live, is the old Air Force commando way of saying it. Seniors, you are the 139th class to pass through that arch. You are about to become one of us, graduates of a long line and a proud line, leaders of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, of law, of government, governors, and generals, captains of industry. You great guys are going to make us proud. So get out there, be men, and as you pass through this line, resolve to be the man who passed the line. Congratulations.